we train and have been training very hard on operators seeing eye habits and their skills in scanning. It's the most basic fundamental part of driving a bus. We work very hard on this issue. Our
Go ahead and continue.
So, I apologize. Okay. And when it comes to turns, there we go. So the first view I'm going to show you of what we expect operators to do, how we train them to look around visual barriers, is from the dashboard. I set the camera on the dashboard, and we made a couple of turns. I'll show you the dashboard view first. And there, what you saw the operator do is simply what we call rocking and rolling in the seat. He's going to make a left-hand turn, but he has to also clear the right side, and he did that. Just that simple movement in the seat to look around the visual barriers on the right side before he begins his left turn. So you'll notice also that he's scanning before he moves. And right there, he's looking way over his left shoulder and around the mirror down into the crosswalk to his left. So that is another example of rocking and rolling of the seat. Simply put, he's looking around the mirror. He's looking around the visual barrier. So next I will show you this from the interior, standing next to the driver. So he's scanning already the intersection, and as he approaches it, this is exactly as we train. Before he moves, he's going to rock and roll the seat to see right again. Now notice how far forward the bus has to come to make the left turn. He continues to scan over his left shoulder into the, and around the mirror on the left and to the left side of the bus. I will show you this to you from the exterior. However, the operator gets in the shadow. It's a little difficult to see this from that position. You'll see him rock and roll forward in the seat, first to the right. Notice the bus comes straight forward to gain clearance for the turn. And he has already looked over his left shoulder and to clear the crosswalk and to make sure it is clear. The pedestrian who came up during the turn left turn, then just safely passes behind the bus. Now, this is an example I want to show you of what can occur. A pedestrian has walked up on the far side of the intersection. She is in the shadow there. So our bus operator, Jeff, is going to drive straight forward because he needs to gain that clearance again. But he is already aware, because he's been scanning, that the pedestrian is there, and he simply waits for her. Now, before he moves again, after the pedestrian clears the intersection, he now has to be concerned about the car. Before he moves again, because he stopped, he's going to rescan. And that is one of the training tools that we've been using and emphasizing very strongly, is always scan before you move, even if you're delayed for a second or two. So he rescans, checks over his shoulder again, pays attention to the car, and completes the turn safely. We put this little brief clip in just to show you the amount of space in the view. I was standing next to the operator. Of course, I can't get the camera right in the position of the operator because he's operating the bus. And no camera will see exactly the same as the human eye does. But this is as near as we can get to demonstrate this to you. And you can see the space that the left mirror and the left pillar, that's called the A pillar, takes up as he's driving along. A right turn is very similar, except the mirrors that he's scanning going to be on the right side of the bus. So he scans the full intersection, rock and rolls in the seat. You see around any the door and the V pillar on the right side of the bus. Starts bringing the bus around for a right turn. We'll show this to you from the exterior of the bus. This gives you a good idea of how far out the bus has to come to complete that right turn. So we wanted to show you the vision barrier in the yard in a controlled setting. There is one of our trainers is standing out beside there. And this is all the movement that is required for the operator to move to see around that visual barrier, the A pillar in this case. And that's exactly what we expect our operators to do, to look around these visual barriers and make sure that we're clear. All vehicles have visual barriers. All vehicles do. This is a supervisor's vehicle. To get the camera in position where a supervisor operating this vehicle might sit, I was actually sitting in the back seat. You can see it also has a visual barrier. All vehicles do.